cannot take away. So the time, the kala, kalosmi, sarvharas cha aham. The kala, the time is very, very powerful. One of the kala features is to deteriorate. Because anything you keep over a period of times deteriorate. You make a house, maybe after 50 years, 100 years, automatically started deteriorating. You take an apple, keep it. 4, 5, 10 days, 20 days, it start rotting. So one of the feature of the kala, and this kala which is referred to the material kala. The time factor, material time factor, which deteriorates. What deteriorates? Material thing, not the spiritual thing. Kala cannot touch the lifespan of a devotee. What does it mean? We live eternally? We live eternally? Yes. How we live? This body is anyway, we are not the bodies. So devotees' consciousness, why is it eternally? Because we never thinks I am the body. Like a cloth. So the devotee is beyond this dehatma buddhi. In the Bhagavad-gītā 2nd chapter says, the Atma, the soul is immovable. What does immovable means? Anybody remembers in 2nd chapter Bhagavad-gītā? It does not move from their constitutional position to serve Krishna. One is willingly, another is unwillingly. So the soul is fixed in their serving Krishna. So the time, so-called material time, which we think of, the two platform. Like give you a simple example. This material is like seeing the movie. So the movie time, inside the movie, there's some time factor is there. So that is different time than outside the movie. 3 hours, lot of things will happen. So same thing, the time factor in this world is a different than the spiritual time, and also as a different degradation of time. Like Brahma's time is different from our time. But in material world, time deteriorates everything. A time, Krishna saying, kalosmi. Time is the energy of Krishna. And Krishna can manipulate the time because his energy. In journal, now one day of Brahma here is Sahasrayug Paryantam, 1000 Mahayogas. Similarly, the night. But in the case of when Krishna performed the rasa dance with the gopis, so that night became Brahma's night. journey does not happen. One night means so many Mahayogas should go. So being energy of Krishna, it follows the Krishna's order. So when devotees are engaged serving Krishna, so the Kala cannot touch the devotees. And actually, in the true sense, the devotee never dies. Like Prabhupada gives one analogy. What analogies? Cat is carrying kitten or rat, mouse. Outwardly look like the same thing. Now cat is carrying the rat or mouse, or cat is carrying the kitten. But as we know, there is a lot of huge gulf of difference. The rat is suffering, full of anxiety. He knows I am going to die. In the case of kitten, she is so happy, my mother is carrying. And she feels very joyful. So, when the death comes for a karmis who are not devotees, very, very painful. So much so that it cannot be expressed in the world, and everyone has to die today or tomorrow, any day. Very painful experience. When the Yamdutas they come with the Yampasa, they tie the soul and drag on to Yamloka for the judgment with the Yamraj and the Chitragut. But in the case of a devotee, when the devotee leaves the body, instead of Yamdut, the Vishnu Dutas, they come with the Puspak Vimana and very honorably, respectfully ask devotee to sit on that. So devotee transformed, that purify the whole soul. Like in the case of, if you remember, in the case of Dhruv Maharaj, where the Dhruv Maharaj was there? Badrika place, in the Badrinath, that place. The day he was supposed to leave, one golden airplane comes along with the Vishnu Dutas. And that day, the Dhruv Maharaj, what he did? He know my plane has come to take me. So what he did? That Purport beautifully explained, even the verse is talking about, he took bath, did morning sadhana fully. It's not plane has come, let me finish now, over sadhana, let's go. So that plane comes that day, he took bath, he does full morning sadhana. And circumambulate the plane, because it's a very transcendental plane, it's not an ordinary thing. And paid obeisances to the plane and also the Vishnu Dutas. And he climbed on the airplane, Pustak plane. And how he climbed? You remember how he climbed?
He put his foot on
Death. Mṛtu was standing. Mṛtu is again a bhasan. He put one foot on a Mṛtu and got into the airplane. He never left the body. This is very, very transcendental. It's inconceivable to us. How the Mṛtu is standing like this. He putting the foot on the Mṛtu and getting into the airplane. So our devotional service is unparalleled. And Prabhupada is writing, quoting the Swalapam apyasya dharmasya. Little service to Krishna. Forget out who has given life to Krishna. Even little service to Krishna, Swalapam apyasya dharmas, traito maheto bhayat, can save one from the greatest danger. What is the greatest danger? Here Prabhupada is writing greatest danger is to get another material body. As long as this body is there, suffering will be there. And elsewhere Srila writes, means getting the animal body, a lower grade of body. So somehow we got this opportunity. The human life, very precious. And for the limited time, material limited time. So Rupa Goswami writes, he says, Abhyartha Kalatvam. Kalatvam. Abhyarth. The devotees are very conscious of the time. Even the one moments they never want to waste. जो भक्त होता है एक एक क्षण का सदुपयोग करता है. Whatever bare minimum thing is required to keep body and soul together, he spent time on eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Not otherwise. Forget about the frivolous talk and frivolous things, activities. So because the time is gone, it will not come back. Prabhupada says, Chanak Pandit says, one moment spent uselessly, immaterially, you cannot get back the millions of dollars. So how important is our time? One day miss morning sadhana has gone forever. Won't come back. One day miss Mangalarti, gone forever. Number of days are fixed. Some time spent, the sense gratification is gone. So devotees are very, very alert in that sense. And we have to be very alert. And not a moment goes without serving Krishna. If one is doing that, is already liberated. Iha yassa harirdasse karmana manasagira nikhilaso abasthasu jivan mukta sauchyate. So even though he may have so-called body living, but is already liberated. Devotees, they never live in material world. They live always live in the Golok Dham. So actually celebration when the devotees die. Actually, why is celebration? Because going back to Godhead. To live eternally with Krishna. To enjoy with Krishna. To admit into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, Prabhupada says. So it's joy. But for that we have to become little qualified. maybe little tapasya now, what we do. That's in true sense not a tapasya because we are conditioned. To little bodily austerities, mental austerities. We should be ready to perform because it can help us, our eternal pleasure with Krishna. Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrta swadanam. Now people slog hard, work hard to get money so that with that money he can enjoy. Why some children they have to go for study nicely? Because it's not, they may not enjoy by doing so. But if they know if I do so, I will be more happy and I become an elder. So similarly as a devotee, for them that work itself become pleasure for them. 1 hour slept more, gone forever. Won't come back. So we have to be very, very careful in that regards, which is saying the time factor cannot affect the span life of a devotee. A little execution of devotional service saves one from the greatest danger. Hariṁ vinā na mṛtiṁ taranti. So without hariṁ vinā, without the mercy of Krishna, hariṁ vinā na mṛtiṁ taranti, we cannot overcome the death, cycle of death. It is said elsewhere in the one of the Purana. Only Lord can help us to come out from this birth and death cycle. Our own endeavor we cannot. But does that mean we do not do our endeavor? No, we have to do endeavor. So yes, I am willing to go. So that desire we must have. And we have to, whatever being given the shastras by the spiritual master, we must follow very sincerely. Janma Kar Prabhupada is writing in this purport. The translation of that was Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Vetti Tata Tyaktva Deham Punarjan Niti Mameti Arjuna. Brahma Shameta says, spiritual not half a moment pass. There is no past, there is no future. It's very difficult to conceive. That's a different transcendental. But in material kala time, very difficult. The scientists also trying to, physicists also trying to understand, but it's very, very difficult for conceiving them. But we have transcendental understanding. What is given the shastras, we accept, and gradually, slowly, when we advance, things will be revealed to us. And in this sloka, the time factor is divided into many. 360 days are there. 13 months. 12 plus 1. So, adhi-māsa, adhi-māsa, mala-māsa. Nrsimhadev killed whom? Hiranyakashipu. For Hiranyakashipu asked by induction, I should not die in the 12th month. So Lord fulfilled all his promises made by Brahma to him. So that cāturmāsya, this comes. Probably within 3 years, once comes. And Prabhupada is writing, when the sun rises and sets, it takes away the life of all living entities. सूरज निकलता है, डूबता है, एक दिन गया. And we can't do anything. The sun has to set, sun has to rise. So sun rises and sets, it takes away the life of all living entities. But it cannot take away the life of those who are engaged in devotional service. So when one have got developed consciousness, human life, try to understand Krishna. The purpose of life to just understand Krishna. There is no other purpose. That is Krishna consciousness. Don't waste your time in the nonsense activities. Don't waste. The life is very valuable. Prabhupada is saying in the one of the lecture. You don't think that because you have got human form of life, we shall live for 100 years, 60 or 70 years. So let us enjoy. No. Life can end in any time. Ahan ahini bhutani gachanti malaya Sesa isthavaram icchanti kim asharyam atah param. So that's a question asked by Yamraj Yudhishthira Maharaj. What is the most surprising thing in this world? He says, Ahan ahini bhutani gachanti yamalaya. Ahan ahini means day after day, every day. Bhutani means living entity. Gachanti yamalaya. Where they are going? Yam lok, they are dying every moment. Some are dying. Sesa isthavaram icchanti. Sesa means those are remaining. Isthavaram icchanti, those are remaining. They think, oh, अभी तो चलेगा. वो दूसरा चला गया, कोई फ्रेंड चला गया. न्यूज़पेपर में देखता वो गया. किसी में हाउ लॉन्ग यू लिव, 40 साल का हो लगेगा, 25-30 साल तो चलेगा. कई लोग 40 वाले भी जा रहे हैं, 30 वाले, 20 वाले. Even some childs are dying. For it, in the womb the mother is killing sometimes the child. So that's the reason Prahlad Maharaj says to the young boys in his school. They say the time for play, because they don't play. Because then the life can end at any time. Bhagavata says that kind of enjoyment is there everywhere in animal life, in plants. This enjoyment means sex pleasure. Visya khalu sarvatashat. So called this filthy enjoyment. Khalu, in all the species of life, we have been doing. The bhog vilas, that's all over there. Each life is available. But some of you got labdha sudur labam idam bahusam bhavante. Manushim anityam apiyede. Tulam yatit na partit anumrittu avan. Before death capture you. Let's perfect nihasri sahib. Because otherwise, if you indulge Sanskrit education, anime is or khalu sarvata. Besya means eating, sleeping, mating and defending. This is called Besya. One who is very much fond of these principles of life, just like animal. They have no other problem. They do not know what Krishna consciousness, what philosophy, what is metaphysical understanding. They have no such problem. The only problem is eating, sleeping, meditating. People think, what is the problem? Nice, earn money and enjoy. That's all. So the human form of life is not like that. Therefore, Sonaka Rishi says, Ayur harti vaipumsam udyan astam cha yan yaso. So, udyan astam, by rising the sun. Udya astam is by setting up the sun. Ayur harati pumsam. So, ayur goes tas yarate yat chado nita uttam isloka bhardaya. He says that our duration of life is being taken away by the sun beginning from his rising up to the end of setting. So we have a daily losing our duration of life. Just like this month, today time is gone, will not come back. Prabhupada is giving some example. So Kala that way is very powerful, because that's Krishna impersonal representation, Kalosmi. The sun is taking away our duration of life every minute, every hour, every day. But if we engage oneself in the topics of Uttam Isloka Bhardaya, we'll be discussing about Krishna. Macchitta matagata prana buddhyantas parasparam kathyantas chamam nityam tusyanti cha ramanti cha. So devotee's life is only buddhyantas parasparam, discussing about Krishna katha and preaching to each other, and also for hearing about Krishna katha. So the idea is that the time which you are devoting here in this Krishna consciousness temple, this time the sun cannot take away. How power is bhakti. Any time we are spending here for serving Krishna, this is becoming your asset. Plus, it is not minus. The duration of life, so far your body is concerned, that may be taken away, that will be taken away. However, I may try to keep it intact. शरीर को कितना भी अच्छे से रख लो, you cannot, it will have to die sooner or later. So that's the reason devotees are not too much concerned about the body. There could be some problem in the body. It's not too much concern. Whatever bare minimum is required. Some problems are tolerate. Forefront should be the bhakti. Nobody can keep it. It will be taken away. But the spiritual education which you are receiving in this class, or either the son or son's father, his father, nobody can take it away. So it becomes a solid asset for the devotee. What the service we are doing? Any service. Therefore we should utilize our consciousness, how to make it a solid asset. That is Krishna consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. If you chant 24 hours, very easily think, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. That means this time cannot be taken away by sun. Just like he has taken away the time of pertaining to the body. Just like I was also a young man sometime, say 50 years ago, or say some years ago. But that is taken away. Now that cannot be returned. But the spiritual knowledge which I received from my spiritual master, that cannot be taken away. That cannot be taken away. It will go with me. So whatever you develop the knowledge is a permanent asset. So the human life which we have a very, very precious, and we should try how to utilize this time, not to waste time as abhyartha kalatvam, as Rupa Swami is also writing, and also when we completely engage and we can transfer ourselves to the eternal world, and we can eternally be happy and live with Krishna. So some degree of austerity may be required. We must be ready to take it up. Any material problem is not a problem for devotee. You're only concerned about his progress in his future life. And we must know we are not the body. So the cloth may be little bad condition, but if we are a strong body, so then we can, then it's not much problem. Similarly, this body may have some defect because of past karmas. But if we are spiritually strong, then outside thing will not affect on your service to Krishna. So we all should pray to Krishna, and so that we can be completely engaged in service of Krishna, and gradually, slowly we can, it will help us to completely merge into the Krishna consciousness, where no material things will be able to affect, no material wearing obstacles can stop serving Krishna. So that day we have to wait and desire, then Krishna will help us. Grinthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Prem Nandi Hari Hari Bol.